Former Notre Dame head basketball coach and ESPN analyst Digger Phelps. Digger, what is your reaction to this move, Notre Dame moving to the ACC?
Well, when you say Notre Dame, it's more than sports. And let's give a little history. Notre Dame announced last year that in the 7-year fundraising drive for development, they raised $2 billion with this economy, not having a research center or a university hospital, so to speak. And that was incredible. And when you take a look at the power of Notre Dame, it's an alumni association, not just around this country, but around the world. So when it came time for us to think about should we or shouldn't we, in the Big East with what it is, and football what it is, I got to give Jack Swarbrick, he's the guy that made this happen. Yeah, the Big 12 was really, really after Notre Dame for all sports, including football, or maybe not football. Who knows? The Big 10 wanted them for football. But nothing against those cities. But more importantly, where those cities are based in the Big 10 and Big 12, you take Notre Dame's base of alumni support as east of the Mississippi from Maine to Florida. So now you got Syracuse, Pitt, West Virginia leaving, obviously go to Big 12. But the fact is, with Notre Dame now joining the ACC and a new campaign coming up for development at Notre Dame to go out and raise money for the university itself with all its programs, now you've still got that recruiting base from Maine to Florida. Yeah, the Big East changed, obviously, with those 3 schools leaving and adding the other schools with 3 different time zones for football and all the other sports. But at the same time, getting back to sports, I think Notre Dame basketball is an example. They now survive recruiting back east, because if you were in the Big East trying to recruit against Pitt, Syracuse, Boston College, Maryland, Virginia, etc., you have problems trying to get those kids that they normally get out of the East Coast. Now that they're in the ACC, they can compete with those schools. And I can see the ACC conference tournament now become 1 year in Greensboro, the next year in Madison Square Garden. It'll be the strongest conference in college basketball, in my opinion, with the addition of now with Connecticut still there in the background, because UConn is still, to me, one of those power teams, especially in basketball, that could end up in the ACC in time. But when you got Boston College and you have Pitt, as well as Syracuse and Notre Dame, added to the flavor of the ACC in basketball, to me it becomes the best conference in the country. And it does help all the other sports when it comes back to recruiting back east.
Digger, besides recruiting, what do you think this does mean for Notre Dame basketball?
I think it's a big step. Bray's done a great job here. Obviously, he's been here now 11, 12 years. But the point to me is with Bray, now he's able to go back east and get the kids that he would lose to the ACC schools, especially our recruiting base, especially when I recruited Washington, D.C., New Jersey, New York, Long Island, Philadelphia area. And now you're going to have that cloud again going back into the ACC to get those guys that come and play basketball at Notre Dame and compete to where you become not just a national power, but get a shot again at the Final Four.